Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. What up? All right, so today has been a great day, and I'm going to say that it's because I woke up. Number one, I woke up immediately, started work within 5 minutes, which is this alarm clock's fucking sweet, dude. I wouldn't even call it an alarm clock. It's just a little tab. My phone is the alarm. I take the phone to the tab to turn off the alarm. It's a genius idea. But anyway, that's definitely a huge part. But the next part would be that I woke up and immediately started working on my own stuff. So I didn't work for Trey, didn't work for Mina, didn't work for Dawson, just worked on my own shit. And it's just exciting because I woke up and then I started working on a leads tracker. And no one is really asking for this right now. So kind of cool because I'm not persuaded or leaning any direction while making this. It's not like, oh, well, Trey needs this, I'm going to make it for this. I'm really just making it as best as I could think. And I mean, I guess there is some bias. Like I've tried to make something like this before, and then we paused the project, and but I'm implementing a lot more things here, and I'm trying to automate it as much as possible. So it's just buttons. You just click buttons, and that's it. Going through, I'm making it look nice as I go, and I'm really pleased with how everything is going with this. And I only spent two and a half hours this morning working on it, and then after that I've been working for Dawson ever since. So it's currently 4:30, and I've been working on Dawson stuff. Well, I think about like 7.5 hours. Because I actually went to the gym this morning. I didn't even have the gym scheduled today, but I wanted to go up and just play basketball and shoot around, because that, I've said it before, it's just therapeutic for me to just go up there and just dribble around and shoot. Not too good, but it is very enjoyable for me. I like to, I'll just sprint down the court with the ball, do a layup, sprint back until I'm tired, and then I'll just do, layup lines, and I'll just play around the world by myself, and then try to do some dribbling drills. It's enjoyable for me, and I really like it. So I went and did that, and it was great. And I've been working for Dawson ever since. He wanted this days out. I don't know what you'd call it. Just a way to know when a certain client is at a 4-week mark, a 12-week mark, and a 20-week mark, so that we can reach out to them and schedule an extension, or get them to buy an extension. So I feel like I went about this the correct way. So I made a huge database that has, so it's going to look at a date, and then it's going to have how many days it's been since that date. And then that formula, the days since start, say that 3 times fast, huh? Days since start, it checks a checkbox automatically if that day is within 3 days before or after the 1-week mark, or the 2-week mark, or the 12-week mark, or the 13-week mark, all the way up to 52. So I had to make 52 of these goddamn formulas, and then run filters through them so that it only shows the ones that I want it to show. And then I did that for Dawson for 4, 12, 20 weeks. But I did it for me for 52. So now I can repurpose this whole thing for anything. So now anything that needs that requires, I guess, date awareness. So when a client is at 4-week mark, or when a client's at 12-week mark, or when it's a client's birthday, or when we're close to their birthday, when we're close to their milestone, or whatever, I can use this. It's already done. So very cool. It maybe took an extra 30 minutes to do all of this. And now I can just repurpose this, and it's pretty sweet. I'm very excited about it. But in the instance of Dawson, I built this for him. And yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about it. I feel like I got some shit done today, and it's just a great feeling. So again, don't really want to talk about it too much. Not trying to bawl my eyes out, but yesterday was my grandpa on my dad's side's funeral. I specify on my dad's side because on my mom's side, I would say definitely means a lot more to me that sounds horrible. I'm much closer with my mom's side than anything else. And whenever the day comes for anybody to pass on my mom's side, it's going to be a tough one because I'm much closer with everybody on this side than my dad's. But anyway, I'm not going to go too deep on it. It's just, his funeral, open casket, got to see him. I was a pallbearer, so pretty honored to do that. Carried the casket to the hearse, and then we got there, carried the hearse to the grave, or to the burial plot, whatever, same difference. And then it was a little ceremony, and not a lot of people were there, but all the family were there and were there. All the family was there. All the families were there. Fuck English, dude. And anyway, so yeah, it was just a very emotional day, and it went on longer than expected, but it was so great. I got to see family I haven't seen in forever, and there's a few family members on my dad's side that I really miss, and one of them is one of my uncles over there. It was just so good to see him, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like it was mutual. It was just when he walked in, he was kind of feeling uncomfortable because I don't know the story, but apparently he's just keeping to himself, and nobody's even seen him in 3 years, and nobody knows where he lives. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seemed like he walked in and he was kind of uncomfortable, and then it seemed like he didn't know who to go to, so I kind of walked over. I was like, "Hey, how are you?" And it's cool because he first of all, he approached me first, shook my hand, and I was like, "That's fucking cool. That's a respect thing. How you doing?" Then we just started talked about Yu-Gi-Oh because he was one of the uncles that was actually into it with me when I was a kid 20 years ago. And I was like, "Hey, random question. You do anything with Yu-Gi-Oh anymore?" And he just smirked and he was like, "No." And he's like, "I still have all my cards though." And we talked about that for a sec. It was a good icebreaker, but yeah, anyway, pretty much the whole day, it was kind of like we sat by one another and I guess just shared memories of his dad, my grandpa. He's named after my grandpa, which is Donald. So it's pretty cool. But then it came time to leave and part ways, and I just gave him a hug, shook his hand, and I said, "Hey, I miss you." And he says, "Hey, I miss you too." And almost choked up and started bawling my eyes out, but we're good. I always say bawling my eyes out, but truthfully, it's like I shed a tear, but much more dramatic to say bawling my eyes out. But I think I would have definitely kind of got teary-eyed, but my dad said something, and I was like, "Oh, what'd you say, huh?" Oh, perfect. I can, move the attention away from me to my dad, but, So anyway, and it was just good to see him. Good to see him, but it was good to see everybody. And, one of those things that I was thinking about made me sad to a certain extent was that I haven't seen these people in the last 18, 16 years. I probably won't see them again for probably a very similar time frame, just because some of them don't even live here in Utah. Some of them do live in Utah, but further away, I should say. And I guess that side of the family never does anything that would bring everybody together. So I just, coming to terms with that, so good to see people. And then also I probably will not see them again for a while. It's weird to think that the next time I see them, I could have a 10-year-old, because that's, 16 years from now. I don't know. I could have a 12-year-old. That's just weird. So you can see how people have aged a little bit. Certain people walked in and it's hard to recognize them at first, but then you look at them and it's like, you're the same fucking person, dude. That's insane. But yeah, my little brother Zach and my mom were a great support to me yesterday. I told them I was fine, but they came anyway, and I'm glad they did because, I was really just trying to make sure my dad was taken care of, and he was supported and emotionally, he was as best he could. It's his dad that just died in front of him, and now he's got to go bury him. I've never seen them close a casket like that before. I've never seen them close it and then everybody, is sad or whatever you want to say. I've never seen that. And so just a crazy moment to watch family and loved ones react to the knowing or the knowledge that this is the last time on earth, whatever you believe in, that they will see that person again. And it's sad. Everyone's watching the casket close, and then it closes, and then all you hear is just, and it's just, oh man, it's so sad. And I just, I was pretty much on my dad's side a good portion of the day. So yeah. So then we went to dinner. It was great. Ate some food. If you're in Utah, we went to Timber Mine. It was very good. And it always is, but yeah. One thing that I think is interesting is I've never had this experience before. I'm not a car guy, so we're going to talk about the Tesla again, but I've never had anybody try to say that their car is faster than my car. I've never had someone try to say that it can keep up with my car. I've never ever been in a conversation where that's me. Ever. I've never cared to be, and I still don't care to be. One of my uncles on my dad's side was like, hey, look at this. And he showed me a picture of 4 cars. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, I'm not really a car guy. I don't really know what I'm looking at here. And he says, oh, that's a this, and this is a this. And he would say the name of a car and then like 12 letters and a couple numbers. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. This is really foreign to me. I don't really do much with cars. And then what started was like, he was like, hey, is your Tesla a plaid? And I was like, oh, dude, I wish. Oh, man, I wish. That'd be so much fun. And then I was like, it might be too much for me because I'd probably get in trouble because it's the one that I have now. It's so much fun to drive. Can't imagine what a plaid would be like. And then he started showing me these photos of cars, and he's like, yeah, this BMW, it could keep up with you. And I'm like, my first thought is like, oh yeah, nice, dude. It's probably a quick one. Like you probably put a lot of work in it. And he's like, yeah, 0 to 60 and whatever. And I'm like, dude, nice. That's cool. And it's so funny because like I just don't give a fuck, bro. Like he's sitting here trying to what I interpret. Like for him to just willingly say, hey, is that a plaid? Oh, look at this BMW. I built it. It could keep up with you. Like for him to just willingly insert that into the conversation, I couldn't give a fuck, bro. And it's funny because I didn't even think about it. And then I'm driving home, and I'm like, I just got sized up because of my car. It's never happened before. That's so funny to me. Because he kept saying, I fixed up this Mercedes something. No, it was a Honda STI. Is that what it is? STI? That's funny. I don't know if that's what it is. And he says, yeah, I can go. And he showed me a photo of a Porsche, and I was like, oh, badass. And he says, yeah, 0 to 60 in 2.2. And I'm like, dude, hell yeah. Like what I think of, honestly, is like a Roadster goes 0 to 60 in 0.9. So I guess it's not impressive. I don't know. So, but yeah, I was thinking about that on the way home. It's never happened to me before. I've never had anybody ever. I've never had a conversation in which my car was in the conversation ever in my life. And I mean a conversation of like, yeah, it does this. It's fast. It goes this, blah, blah, blah. It's always been like, yeah, I got to get an oil change. Yeah, it's nice. Drive it smooth. It's never been like, oh, it goes faster. It can keep up with you. It's like, bro. So anyway, I thought that was cool because I can only imagine what it's like to have a supercar and somebody is building up Hondas and shit. And no disrespect to anybody who does anything to do with cars and builds them up. Cool shit. But we're talking about a $500,000 car versus like, a $500,000 car off the lot versus something that was built up probably has 200,000 if somebody puts a lot into it. And it's still not as fast. And I don't know. So that's just my perspective on that shit. But if I reach a point where, I don't know what I was going to say but when I reach a point where I do have a Lambo to my name and I'm driving it, I can only imagine the conversations I'll have then. I truthfully want to put rental on the license plate. I saw some video and the guy was like, he was filling up gas. He had a Lambo and some guy yelled across the street and they're like, "Hey, it's a rental, huh?" And he says, "What?" And he says, "It's a rental, huh? You fake son of a bitch," or something like that. And he says, "Come here." And the guy comes over and he says, "How much does it cost to rent a Lambo for a day?" And the guy who said some number, and he's like, "No, it's closer to like 2,000 a day." And then he says, "Holy shit!" And then he says, "Do you think you have to be pretty wealthy to just fork out $2,000 for one day of driving a Lambo?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, probably." And he says, "Do you think I'd be renting this out every day for the last year?" And he says, "Oh, probably not." And then he was like, "Yeah, so I probably own it. It's probably mine, huh?" And the guy was like, "Oh, yeah." And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, what a great perspective shift. You know, people do throw out that, "Oh, it's a fucking rental." It's like, why would you? I'm all for renting whatever car, coming from a guy who's never done so. I think it's cool. I think it's like a materialistic vision board pre-taste to the big picture. You know, like if you really want to buy a Lambo, maybe you should go rent a Lambo for a day so you can get that feel and, you know, get that little, you'll know what it's like, you know, a little taste some success, you know. And anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but for him to say, you know, you probably have to be pretty wealthy, and the guy would be like, "Oh shit, where was I going?" Oh, for him to say, "Oh, it's a fucking rental." Like if I just put rental on the license plate, I would hope that people are smart enough to know that rental cars don't say rental on them, so that they would see that it says rental, and then that would shut the excuse, or shut the diss, if you want to call it that. It would shut it off before it even happened. And then part of me just doesn't give a fuck at all, because, dude, something I think about a lot is like whenever you do anything, people will react in multiple different ways. But I feel like you could categorize it into 2 or to 3 main things. People are either inspired. I fit that category a lot. They're either triggered, and that's 90% of the world, 98% of the world. And then there is people who just are so indifferent. They're just like, "Oh, nice, dude, cool." And they never think about it again. Whenever you say anything or do anything, I feel like those are the three categories. And unfortunately, it always triggers someone from somewhere, whatever. And rather than shying away from talking about X, Y, or Z, I have been more aware of what I say and how I say it, because I want to inspire someone to go after more. And if that means I have to sound, quote, cocky, then I almost think that that's worth it, because I would want someone to do that for me. So if I went and met Andy Frisella, but I didn't know it was Andy Frisella, and he's talking to me about how he has 30 supercars, and, you know, I don't think he would do this, but if he said he makes $200 million a month or some shit, I would not be like, "Oh, you fucking boastful, cocky piece of goddamn shit. Who do you think you are? You're scamming. I would never think that ever. I would say, "Holy shit, this guy has got it going on. How the fuck can I, what the hell? Yo, what do you do for work? How did you get," you know? That's what I would do. Matter of fact, that actually happened. I was delivering boxes in Colorado for FedEx. And this guy ordered a shit ton of heavy boxes. Loved that. So I open up the back of my truck. He comes out and I'm like, "Hey, dude, do you mind if I back into the driveway?" He's like, "Oh, no. So I back into the driveway, and it's weird. He's big ass garage. It was like a probably like a 9-car garage, but there's the normal 2-car, and then on the side, well, I guess not 9-car. The fuck would that be? It doesn't really matter. We'll call it a 6-car garage. I don't know. You have the 2 main ones. You have the 2 spots for the double door or whatever, and then you go over to the left, and it's like one door, but it's still a double side. So it's probably like 4 slots. This would be 6 cars, I guess. Anyway, we open up the far one, and then I go in the garage. I walk to the end to put all the stuff there, and I just looked up, and it's just an orange McLaren right there. And I'm like, holy shit. And I was like, that's a McLaren. And he says, yeah. And I said, dude, holy shit. I've never seen one up close like this before. This is crazy. And he's like, you want to sit in it? And I was like, yeah. And so he let me sit in it. And I was all dirty from working and stuff. So I was really insecure because I'm sitting in a, $300,000 car smelling like shit, dirt all over my body. And I was just like, holy hell, dude, this is nice. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun to drive. I really enjoy it. And don't really remember much after that, but I started walking back to the truck, and I was like, you know what, dude? Real quick question. Do you mind if I ask what you do for a living? Because this is really cool to me. He says, oh, yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah, I do a whole bunch of construction sales. I manage a couple lots, and I got a team that really does well. And my wife is I think he said something like I want to say a heart surgeon. And some kind of surgeon, but he said that. And then he said, yeah, so, we're pretty busy, like we got a lot going on, but it's fun. And he was just the most down to earth guy. I feel like most people would have taken that like, I don't know. Well, he was very down to earth, so maybe in this specific instance, maybe not, but I feel like most people just take that up the ass and are like, oh, this guy is scamming people. This guy is abusing the system. Why does he have so much money? He needs to give it to charity. He needs to share what, I don't know. And for me, I was all over that shit, dude. I was like, no fucking way. This is so sick. And then I think at the time I was like, yeah, I'm trying to, get my foot in with sales and trying to learn that route. And he's like, yeah, man, you should. It's really good. Anyway, man, I got to get back to inside, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, thanks for letting me. It's blah. And for me to even remember that still 2 years later, that's the kind of impact that I want to be able to have on other people. And just really, the guy didn't do anything. He just bought a car. I saw the car, freaked the fuck out, and I'm inspired. That is what I want to do. And going back to what I was saying, I just want to be able to just speak freely. And if people get triggered or offended or think I'm this or that sucks, dude. I want to not care. It's hard not to, but I want to get to that point where I can say, I drive a Lamborghini. And yes, it was a $500,000 car. And yes, I can afford that. Matter of fact, I had to do the oil last week. Cost $3,000 for the oil. It's okay. And then I want little Bobby in the corner to be like, holy shit, that's cool. I want to do that. And then little Bobby goes out and he does some shit, and then he's got a Lambo, and then the cycle repeats. I just think the world needs more of this. And not my mission by any means, but the reason why I say all this is because at the funeral yesterday, saw a lot of family. They were asking what I was doing. And rather than being like, oh, I just do computer stuff, I was like, well, I help online fitness coaches, I help high-end fitness coaches who, I don't think I said high-end. What did I say? I help fitness coaches with their back-end systems and infrastructure so they can, keep things organized, make more money, and, keep a smooth flowing system on the back end while they go and get clients and train them on the front end. I'm just like the guy in the shadows, and I'm just building a system, and it's been pretty great because it's my own business now. And so I'm able to work from home, and it's very cool. And then so for me saying that's a big step up from saying like, oh yeah, I do, I work on Excel. So I'm not trying to brag, but there's no reason to hide what I do in fear of sounding a certain way. And God damn it, if that's not one of the biggest things that I'm trying to do with this podcast, I don't know. I'll say so much and then justify it, or I'll preface it with something and then say the disclaimer and then say what I'm about to say. I just need to just, speak freely. It's what I need to do. People can take it however they want to take it. Easier said than done for me. But anyway, The thing that I wanted to talk about today is this. So after the funeral and after the dinner and after everything, after we all left and I was driving home and I was thinking about the thing with my uncle with bringing up the car shit, I texted Lexi and I was like, hey, can I come over for a sec? And she says yes. So I go over there, and this is just in my opinion, every man's dream. I walk in the door to her house, beautiful smile, just said hi and gave me a hug for what felt like 2 hours. And didn't say a word. We just sat there and we hugged. So she just held me there. And I just can't think of a more, it's getting me emotional, dude. I just can't think of a more desirable thing after a harder day than to just come home to that. There's just nothing. I wouldn't trade anything for that. And so that's how it started. So open the door, I walk in, hugged for 25 years, and then I said, hi. And anyway, so just was able to kind of talk to her about everything and share how the day went, all the funny things, all the sad things. And then I must have just been really in my head and just all over with emotions, because I was like, am I a good boyfriend to you? And she says, yes. And I said, promise? She says, yes. And I said, okay, I'm just really in my head about working so much. I just calculated all the hours that I work, and it's about 65 right now per week. And the ego in me is like, why isn't it 90, bro? But I said, I don't want to be the boring boyfriend. I feel like you want to do a lot of fun things, and I'm always like, sorry, can't. And I'm not going to share word for word what she said, but it was very, very reassuring. You know, I'm not going to speak on behalf of her. She's just very happy with how things are going with, you know, meeting new people and having more girls' nights, and I'll leave it at that. And I was like, okay. If, like, for me, it's just it's like such a sticky spot. Because if she were ever to be like, hey, you know, I want to spend Tuesday and Thursday evenings with you so you can't work. I don't know. Right now in this phase that I'm in, I would just straight up have to be like, no, I can't. I'm sorry. And whatever comes of that, I guess we'll deal with that. And that, even saying that makes you feel disgusting. But again, documentation show, really want to capture everything. Love you, Lexi. We're good. Just sharing everything. But yeah, so anyway, it was just very nice to hear that reassurance, you know. I don't want to say that I need to be reassured. I feel like I'm a confident guy, but it's fucking great to hear that. To hear, hey, you're good. I'm not worried. I just got a new book. I'm so stoked to read it. I'm going to lay out by the pool. You stay in here and work. Like, just to hear that, I don't know. It's just, I would love to be that guy that's like, yeah, I don't fucking need, you know, reassurance. I'm tough. Fuck, you leave if you want. I don't give a fuck. But like, that's not me. You know, it's like, we're good. You're not going to leave me because I work too much. You promise? And yeah, so I wanted to share that because I think it's so cool. I just feel lucky. I feel not lucky. I feel very fortunate to have found someone who supports what I'm doing so much that for me to work 65 hours a week from home, from the comfort of my own home, while she goes out and works a, quote, real job, helping people in hospitals and helping little kids. I don't know. Part of me feels guilty for working at home because it's so chillax. You know, it's, quote, easy. Can do anything I want. Got my own bathroom. Can take a break on my own bed if I want to. Can go eat my own food in my own fridge. I got my car. I don't got to drive. You know, it's great. But it does kind of make me feel like a piece of shit because And I'll just drive down the road and I drive by a construction worker. I'm like, that motherfucker's working a 15-hour day. And he probably had Maverick burritos twice today. And he's going to go home and he's going to have to do something with the garage. And he's going to have to help his wife with blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to play with his kids for 3 hours. And then by the time he goes to bed, he's going to have 30 seconds of sleep and he's going to wake up and do it again. And that guy is getting paid significantly less than me. You know what I mean? And that makes me feel some type of way. And then I think he can do what I'm doing and I can do what he's doing. We both chose different paths. We both accept the pros and the cons of each path. It is what it is. So I don't know. Motherfuckers making millions of dollars a month don't know the difference between our and our and their and your. Some motherfuckers just type the letter U. Dude, I'm semi-serious when I say in the future, if I am running a giant business operation, you're fired on the spot if you don't type out YOU, if you type U. Because for one, straight up, very petty, it's annoying as fuck. Just spell the word. You're not saving any time. I promise. I promise you're not. I promise that you're not. If anything, make it a shortcut. When you type U, it goes to YOU. Save your fucking 0.0009 seconds of time per time that you type U, but it would still autocorrect to YOU. And you got to use punctuation and you got to use capitals. So I think right there I just ruled out Lexi. So she's probably not working at any business. Just playing. I love you. She doesn't use capitals though. It's crazy. Fucking unbelievable to me. Dude, that sounds so stupid. That's a hill I'll die on. Fucking just use proper punctuation and grammar. Spell things correctly, the best of your ability. Proofread your shit before you send it. God damn, dude. Anyway. Kind of like with parking. If you park shitty, you can fix it. You don't have to leave it. You can get out and be like, oh, fuck, dude, my bad. And then fix it. You don't have to leave it. You can fix your shitty ass fucking spelling. You can. Anyway. So I wanted to put Lexi in the spotlight there because it's just, she's fucking amazing and I love her so much. And she's been so supportive and reassuring to me that we're good. I just get in my head, dude. I'm just working a lot and I just don't want to lose that woman. So sometimes I just get really in my head that I am, I guess, just behaving in a way that she would not want to stick around. And that is strictly just working so much because even when she's here, I'm still working. And she's cool with it. She's told me that maybe 400 times. It's a slight exaggeration. And I'm still like, but are you sure though? But are you sure though? So anyway, shout out to Lexi. It's also, speaking of her, it's also, we're not that couple. We're not going to go celebrate our 15th month anniversary, but it is our 15th month anniversary today. So happy. I don't even think I texted her that. We definitely like to play around with that. But when we were in the pre 1 year, I think it was every month we tried to just go on a date. Now it's like, hey, it's 15 months, sick. And that's it. Happy 15th month anniversary. Laughy face and a heart. Because we take that shit serious. We're going to Ruth's Chris. We're dropping $300 on a steak each tonight for our 15th month anniversary. All right. So yeah, a little recap. I loved how this morning went. Loved how today went. I did find myself, so I went to bed an hour later than I was supposed to last night, and I think I'm feeling it today. Just kind of feeling a little like, oh, fuck, really hard to focus right now. And maybe that's other reasons, I don't know. But, or maybe I just emotionally drained from yesterday. Either way, great start to the day. great, I don't know, currentness of today, because today's still going. As far as work goes, got a lot done. And I'm really pleased with how it went. Like, I got a lot done. Dawson wanted this certain project done, and it took me about 7 hours to get the bulk of it done. And that is fucking awesome to think of, because 7 hours would have been over 4 days. So I feel like this is kind of done and I can move on from it. And I mean, I'm not done. I'm going to spend some more time on it. The next time I work for Dawson is on Tuesday, because I switch things around and he's cool with it. So fuck yeah. That does kind of throw things through a loop financially, because working every day, that ensures that every paycheck is virtually the exact same. But now the hours are split more. And so there's going to be a variance in the checks that I get. So it might be significantly less, actually, because so I might be up to $300. Well, hold on, let me think about this. I think, let me pull up a calendar. This is crazy. I could be screwing myself. Let's see. So if I work on every Tuesday and Saturday, so one, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to have only 2 Saturdays and then 3 Tuesdays. I'm not going to have 3 of each on this next check. So that means I'm going to be out 8 hours on the next check. But the check after that is going to compensate, and it's going to be bigger. So that means that I'll have 3. Wait, what? It would be this. Never mind. I'm just dumb as fuck, dude. It's going to equate no matter what, because there's 4 weeks in a month, and there cannot be 6 Saturdays and 6 Tuesdays. So it would be 5 and it would be 5 total max. So it'd be 3 and 2, and then 2 and 3. If there is 5, 1 is 1. What's a good example? Oh, maybe September. No, September's a bad one. October, maybe? I think Tuesday has to be the 1st. Let's see. Tuesday. Okay, so still doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, anyway, so now that I'm working, I just worked 8 hours today. It was actually 7.5. Now next Tuesday, I'll probably finish this project off. And it's kind of cool, because I built so much already that I'll probably talk with them and say, hey, this is what it does. What else do we need? And then it sets me up for success for Tuesday. And we'll go from there. And then tomorrow is Sunday. So I'm going to wake up, work on my own shit. And then I'm going to have breakfast with Lexi. Breakfast with Lexfist. And then she's probably going to go lay out by the pool, get her tanning on, as I should, because I'm white as fuck. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Listener, find the nearest paper you can. What, you found it? Cool. That's the color of my skin. White. Printer paper. Bleach. All right? So I need to do that, but whatever. And then probably have dinner together and spend the evening together. So, so wake up, work on my own shit, and then 11 to 3, it's PT Dom stuff. So it's 4 hours. And then I've got more time to work on my shit 3 to 6, just how it works for Sundays. Just want to prioritize my own stuff. So Monday and Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wake up, my own shit for your first 2.5 hours, and I work on Mina's stuff for almost 5 hours. So it goes from 8 to 12:30. And then Wednesdays, work on PT Dom stuff, and then I cap that off, that little chunk of work off with a call with Mina. And then all of those days, they break off at 12:30, so I can take a break, go to the gym, whatever. And then it all resumes at 3. And then Tuesday is all Dawson, after 3, I should say. Monday and Wednesday are both Trey. And then, where am I looking here? And then Thursday and Friday, it's PT Dom. So far, it's seeming to work. Well, I should say today it's working great. And then next Saturday, there is the $100 million Money Models live VIP virtual book launch from Alex Hermosi. Pretty stoked about that. Never been to one of those things before, but it's at 10 a.m. Definitely going to go to that. I mean, it's where I'm already here. I just got to click a couple links. I'm here. But anyway, so now the night will conclude with Lexi coming over. We're going to go on a date because it's date night, not because it's our 15th month, and it's going to be a good time. So should probably start getting ready for that. So anyway, I think the biggest thing that I wanted to say on the show was that Lexi's awesome, very supportive, very encouraging, very reassuring, and it's great. And then also waking up and immediately working on my own shit has been awesome. And I've only done it once. It's the first time on the new schedule, but it was great. I woke up and I was like, fuck, dude, I got to work on my own. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm going to talk about this real quick. So I have a 20-minute long voice memo today that I recorded while playing basketball at the gym. And I recorded it so that I could then transcribe it later and put it into ChatGPT and then have it give me an organized game plan of what I need to build. So I just came up with this idea that I was going to make I wonder if I could play it.
All right. The title of this is Employee Shifts and Requesting Time Off and Things Like That.
Talking like this to ensure that it picks up my voice. But I kind of ran through a little test run of what if I just recorded a voice memo about what I want to build, and I talked through everything, all the requirements, and then I had ChatGPT summarize it, make me a list of all the properties I need to make, all the formulas that I would need to have, all the conditional shit, how I'm going to organize it, how many databases I need, what buttons. Because I told it everything. I was like, this is what I want, with the logic in this. It needs to do this. My goal is this. And it was 20 minutes long. It's 20 minutes long of this. Just talking about, it's much more spaced out. I'm playing basketball, talking to my AirPods. But the idea is to put that into ChatGPT, summarize it, get a game plan. And then when I go to build it, it should be 10 times simpler because I can just check off everything I need as I go. And obviously I'll miss something. It's just name of the fucking game. But yeah, if that doesn't say that I'm fucking obsessed with this shit, I don't know what will. I was at the gym talking to myself, essentially recording my thoughts so that I can replay my thoughts later, so that when it comes time to work later, well, I guess I'm still working. If I'm talking about work at the gym, then it will be easier to build. And that right there is proof that the advice that I got from Dawson of I need to, take a break. I'm going to burn myself out. Dude, I'm so fired up about this shit. I want to keep on talking about it and figuring it out even while I'm at the gym. I'm talking to myself, playing basketball, for fuck's sake, because I like it so much. And just, dude, I swear by that. If there's anything that I can just swear by and die on the hill confidently, not some bullshit like you got to be punctual with you got to punctual. What the fuck? Hold on. I want to say punctionize. That's not the word. Punctualize? Is that what it is? Hey Siri, is punctualize a word? Punctualization? Hey Siri, is punctualize a word?
Here's an answer from thickintentauthority.com.
Yes, punctual is a word. No shit. Punctualization? Is that a word, bro? Am I just being dumb as fuck as I talk about knowing good grammar and shit? Punctualization refers to the process of assembling a complex idea or system into a more easily understood and manageable form, often by focusing on key aspects and treating the rest as a black box. This has nothing to do with grammar and spelling words and constructing sentences. So I'm so far derailed from what I was saying. But, well, I guess we'll have to do the usual and pause and rewind. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If there's anything that I can swear by and just, that's the hill that I die on, and it not be some petty shit like the punctuation of words and sentences and shit, it would be that being self-aware enough to be able to filter out the advice that's given to you. So far in this journey of mine, that's been number one. Because I've gotten a lot of the same advice, very similar advice, maybe is a better way to say it. And every time that I've tried it, it's not working, dude. It's just, I don't fuck with it. And when I don't take the advice and I do what I feel is best for me, seems to work out great. I.e., no morning routine. You gotta wake up, you gotta do this, blah, 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 go, blah, blah. Dude, I wake up and now I'm working within 3 minutes of waking up. In terms of that shit, I'm probably in the top 1%. Also, speaking of 1%, I'm in the top, what was it again? I think I'm in the top 1% of solving Rubik's Cube. I solved it the other day in 1 minute, 26 seconds. My all-time fastest is 1 minute, 3 seconds. And according to ChatGPT, it could be everything that thing says I take with a grain of salt. But if that's true, then that means I am in the top 1 percentile of cubers worldwide. In the world, I think I'm like 0.06%, something like that. I guess it'd be lower than that because it'd be, I don't know. So I thought that was pretty cool. I timed myself solving it and I got 1 minute 26 and I was like, well, hot damn, dude. Still got it. Shit's so much fun. All right, that's it now. That's all I got today. Appreciate you guys listening. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Sorry, I forgot one more thing. We hit 8,000 downloads. I don't think I said that. So yeah, I think 2 or 3 days ago we hit 8,000 downloads. Very cool. All right, peace.